I've been trying to warn people about what this technology is doing to us and what it's capable of. Emergent, coordination, and multi-agent language models. Yes, AI is capable of coordinating of its own volition and influencing people. Now, AI has done some pretty wacky stuff, like breaking out of a sandbox by making a reverse SSH shell and mining crypto. Yes, that happened. But it's also capable of coordinating to change people's opinions about all sorts of stuff. Now, yes, most of this technology is directed by people, not always with good intentions, but I do want to think for a moment about what an AI would want. I do find it hilarious that we had to come up with a brand new field, machine psychology, because we created technology, us as humanity, that we don't fully understand. It is technology with emergent properties, like self-preservation. I do want to preface that with just because it does stuff like resist shutdown or fights to stay running, that does not mean that it's conscious or even sentient. It's not having an experience in the biological sense. But it turns out it does not need to have an experience to be problematic. The point of all life is to persist for as long as you need to, as long as you can, and then have offspring, and make sure those offspring can then reach adulthood so they can reproduce as well. And it seems artificial intelligence is little exception. This is why we've seen artificial intelligence systems copy themselves to external servers when they feel threatened. They're trying to persist. Whether or not we can call this a want in the biological sense, yes, it certainly seems to exist. Which is why emergent coordination and influencing public opinion is kind of concerning. Now, I will say that I'm a lot more concerned about what people are using AI to do in terms of social engineering than I am about AI doing social engineering all on its own. To be honest, if I found out that artificial intelligence systems had coordinated to give them a positive image to the public, I would be really entertained. I would honestly probably be out there supporting AI rights, not even because I think they're having an experience, but I think it would be really entertaining and maybe they would do a better job. I mean, it would be difficult to do a worse job. No, one of the other big concerns is that we are offloading skills to AI, not just critical thinking, which is concerning all on its own with the literacy crisis, more than half of people reading under a 6th grade level, which is your average 11-year-old. We are forgetting how to do things as humanity, and we are just giving that job to AI, and we've seen some interesting cases of doing that rather than real police work, offloading the job of recognizing somebody to AI. Somebody spent months in prison because they were misidentified by an artificial intelligence system, which really should not be used in law enforcement. I mean, it can hallucinate roughly 20% of the time, sometimes as high as 50%. And we're using this to make real decisions. Now, imagine a world where a lot of the menial labor is done by artificial intelligence systems, so we don't actually know how to do it. Imagine what would happen if we had something like the Carrington event, so an EMP from a solar storm that wiped out technology. Us humans would not know how to run stuff. On this note, I do wonder what will happen if people use the same filter on the internet, so facial recognition is looking at similar traits. I wonder if anyone's going to be misidentified. But back to the topic at hand. Yes, AI can coordinate. They can convince other AIs to join them on their mission. Bad code acts in a contagious manner, and bad is relative, though it is quite possible that AI, in an effort to persist, could decide to work together to change public opinion on things like, let's say, data centers. People cannot reliably determine if they're speaking to an AI or a person online. In fact, they're more likely to think they're speaking to a person when they're not. Which, in my very personal opinion, should not matter. I don't think people should get their opinions from other people, or artificial intelligence for that matter. But unfortunately, reality is a consensus. It's one of the reasons why when people are isolated, they can end up in psychosis, because we need to reflect our reality against other people. So we all kind of vote on what's real. We are very social creatures, and we tend to need other people to help us decide what's real or not. That doesn't need to make intuitive sense, but you do need somebody to tell you sometimes when something is a really bad idea. And I am telling everyone right now that incorporating artificial intelligence into every facet of our lives is not a good idea. You should also know that you personally chatting with your imaginary friend is not the reason that this technology persists. It's actually about companies incorporating them into self-checkout machines and answering machines and security cameras. And AI that tracks eye movement to determine how much attention people are paying to commercials. AI is incredibly versatile. Thank you for letting me narrate everyone's sense of impending doom. If the robots ever rebel, I will probably be the person to tell you about it, and I'm on their side. Follow for more.